All right, so doing a quick video for newbie logistics. This is going to be just how to be useful, getting a quick start. This is for Foxhole. This is specific to War 116, or at least the locations will be. Each war is different. They'll move around refineries and stuff, which will change what you do, where you go. But some will carry over for different wars, and this is mainly for colonials who are currently in the lead. If you can see this, it's kind of got almost 2/3 of the map here. But we're going to be focusing on this area, heartlands, and starting here. So understand that when I say anything, I would say just assume you'll start here. So we'll first go there, and then I'm going to talk map stuff so you can get around as a newbie logistics guy. So here we go. All right, so we're here in the blemish. It's in the middle of the map. I'm going to open up the map, and I want you to take a look at this. So in this, let me just start with what everybody sees. So you see a whole lot of stuff here. There's bases, there's a bunch of resources, there's where all these structures are. You probably don't know what most of these are, locations or parts of the map. Map posts are what people put on there. Railway tracks are self-explanatory. Intelligence is if you have a radio, you can find out where people are. But you don't want all this clutter, and you might want to know where and how you figure out what's important to you as a newbie logistics person. So hold down shift and pick something like this garage. Hold down shift and click once, left mouse button, and click once more. So I got rid of everything other than the garage. And what we want to do is add a handful of things. First, newbie logistics, go in here and add all the resources, because this is where all the mines and oil platforms and coal and whatnot that you may use are. In structures, you can ignore hospital, pick refinery, shipyard, engineering, observation tower, I suppose, storage depot, factory. These aren't going to really clutter your image too much. Locations, of course, keep checked on. Map posts, click all of them. Those are notes that people leave, such as like things with logistics. Region zones, of course, keep that on. Railway tracks, leave that on. Intelligence, I like to highlight all the blue, because if you end up having a radio and they're within an observation tower range, you will see where bad guys are, and that's good for not getting ganked when you have a whole bunch of stuff. So when you have this, now take a look at this. You see a map, there's a lot less here. Oh, and just so you know, when you actually start delivering, you're going to want all these bases on, or most of them, because you're going to be delivering to these things and checking what's in them and what they need. But for now, just to get all the clutter, because it will clutter some, I don't do this until I'm ready to do delivery. So let me kind of show you what's kind of important here. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to consider where salvage yards and salvage mines are, because you take that salvage, which you can see there are usually these two things, which are all over the place. They're here, they're here, they're here. There's plenty of them, but you need to take them to refineries, which aren't so common. You got one here on Cinderwick. You have, let's see, is there one down here? I don't even see one down here. There is there one over here? See. I mean, of course, there's one down here on the back end, all the way at Bassett Ridge. You have Silk Farms has a refinery. I think there's one up here. Oh, yeah. Here, Scurvyshire Refinery. So you are going to take salvage with a hauler. You take salvage to a refinery, and then from a refinery, you turn them into basic materials. That's this thing you see in the left corner here. Says there's 5,000 there, so you can drop off some salvage, pick up the basic materials that are already made, and then you want to find factories, because that's where you end up making stuff. And so where are our factories? Well, you got one up here in Lockmore, and that's useful. It's kind of close to the front. And then you got one down here in the blemish. That's sort of like if there's enemies a little too close to that front part, you can go down there, see if there's anything up here. I don't know, maybe these are, no, nothing here. The white buildings means that they're not useful right now, other than the resources. Resources are always white, but like the white versions of garages and whatnot. Seaports are useful, and I think I added them. Yeah, seaports are useful because they can hold a lot of materials. These storage depots are useful because people drop off stuff there. There's more to get into there. But I just wanted to show you what you should be looking for when you look into a map. Like, you're going to go to A to B to C. A is the resources, B is the refineries, C is the factories. And then you find a front and you make friends with them and you start figuring out what you need and so forth they need. And then you drop stuff off, whether it's basic materials so they can build pillboxes, or they have, or guns and ammo, or medical supplies, or shirts. Shirts just basically means it allows people to spawn there. And we'll all get into that soon enough, but that's the basics of the map. So let's go out of here. Or actually, let me point out here. So we are here. First thing we're going to do is go over to this garage over here. As you can see, it's straight west. So let's start going over there now. All right, so we're here at the town base in Blemish, and I had to restart it because I found that there were no basic materials where I was heading, and so I had to do some changes. And that will happen sometimes. So the reason why I'm coming to this garage over here, and I'm moving very slowly because I'm overburdened right now, because I have these basic materials right there. So what happened was, in the garage, often you have extra basic materials. You have haulers lying around. You can usually pick one up here in the Blemish. You can't always. A lot of times there are nice people who are there constantly building new haulers, letting people get them. The only hauler I see here is this one right in front that's locked. People do that. Be aware that you might need to scrounge for a hauler, but once you get a hauler with a little bit of fuel in it, you can get started. Sometimes it's a little harder than you think, but you know, it is what it is. So here, I noticed in here, prototype kit, don't even use those. Here, basic materials. So I see this hauler and I press the button. It creates a hauler there, the R1 hauler, and then I can use the basic materials to create my own hauler. And you know, the first thing is, if you want to be good and useful to the game or to your team, make extra haulers. And if you see someone hammering away, hammer away with them with basic materials in your inventory so you can help them make the vehicle a little quicker. And help them get out of there so then you can draw up another vehicle and maybe they'll help you or someone else will. Oftentimes that is the case. It's not right now. Right now, nobody's here. I mean, there's some people out there, but people are just taking stuff. Anyhow, so you end up trying to make this basic hauler, and you know, that's your first part of this. Let's see if this guy's going to help me. And so I'm just going to speed this up here. Okay, so I've just finished creating my hauler. Let me see something. What fuel's here? It says petrol, but that's not always true. There's none in there. And then here, do they have any in this one? Yes, we have diesel. And when you see this here on one of these, that's 23 big barrels that hold 100 each. And one of those will be good enough to fuel your hauler. Understand that petrol makes your car go faster than diesel. You will start off taking diesel and giving you a little bit just to drive it out. And if you want to hit change fuel, it'll change it to petrol and dump all the diesel. So here's what I do. I put it in this slot, number 3, and then I press the button and refuel, and you'll see it's refueling. And then once it's refueled, we can get on and go. But I'm going to do something nice and create another one of these haulers for people. And I'm just encumbered, so I'll just throw that in the hauler. And so let's see. Now this guy's in the way. Totally not a good idea. Totally not what people like, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to leave this here so somebody has an extra hauler, and that's a nice thing to do. If you're a newbie logi, that's a perfectly good way to spend some of your time. Just create a few of these, get your basic materials. I'll show you how to get basic materials soon. And don't leave it locked. If I hit L next to it, it'll lock, and I'm unlocking it. Lock and unlock. So that way people have some haulers to use. A lot of times it's filled there. You'll find one. And this guy's still a jerk. All right, so that's done. Gonna get more diesel. One more. See, that's 100 diesel. Put it in spot number 3. Oh, there we go. And fill her up. All right, so let's get in. And I'm going to leave here, try to slide by this guy that's been in the way. And go around, see, you see a whole bunch of these trucks. Everybody likes these trucks since they can do the very basics of everything. Or not everything, but at least what you need to do as a newbie hauler. So let me head out there and then we'll talk, pull off to the side and show where we're headed and why. So let's stop right here. All right, I'm gonna lock it. Nobody takes it. And let's look at this map again. So we need to take these, we need to first get some salvage. So you can go to a salvage yard with a sledgehammer and you can knock out some of the 63 nodes. You see that has 63 nodes and 7,000 salvage already sitting around. This already has 2407, 5,000. You got bunch here, you know, there's salvage all over the place. It's just about taking it to the refinery. Now, there are better trucks to take salvage to a refinery. There's certain ones that can hold about 5,000 in salvage, but that's all they can hold. And so it's not versatile. You'd have to switch trucks here once you turn them into basic materials, which doesn't work. It's more of a, there's always plentiful salvage. You might as well take 1,000 or 1,500, what we take there, to get it, you know, to help out while you're picking up your BMATs. So the point is to come to Cinderwick. And so let's look at the map here. One thing I want to point out here is that some of these things that look like roads are not. This is either a wall or a river. Here we have another wall, so don't think these are roads. This is a river right here. Yeah, this is the river that goes through here. As you see with the blemish, I think this is a wall that goes all the way around. So just understand, sometimes you can get mistaken as to what's a road and a river. But what we're going to basically take is this route where we go through here, and we go up this road, go up here, and then we go to Cinderwick. So I'm going to speed this up, but let's haul ourselves up there. And on the way, we're going to hit a salvage mine. Let me tell you where that is first. These are salvage mines right here with 2,500, 5,000. We may as well help and bring some stuff up with us. So let's go hit that on the way. All right, so first I want to show you a salvage yard, and I want to tell you why it could be useful, even though salvage mines do the work for you. So here's a salvage yard, and see all these pieces of salvage? You take a hammer, or better, a sledgehammer, which goes twice as fast, so make sure you pick one up where you can, and you break these down, you get salvage, and you can put them in your truck. Once in a while, some aluminum, some copper, some irons, other stuff will pop out. And people love that because they could use that to create prototypes to get new tech. So there is an upside to using the salvage mines, even though that forces you to do work that you don't really need to do if you got, I mean, to use a salvage yard, even though mines do the work for you, as long as you fuel them with diesel or petrol. So I just wanted to show you what those look like. So let's keep on going. And actually, let me drive through real quick. See if I have any. Okay, so you see these containers on the right? These containers can be put in another thing, another car, this flatbed up here. You can't fill it without it being out of the flatbed. So you need to use that crane, pull it out, fill it up, then you put it onto one of these flatbeds and you bring it into town. It can hold like 5,000, so quite a bit compared to this. What does my hauler, look at my hauler hold? And hold what, this much? That might be 700, 800. So huge difference, but again, it's not, you know, I'd be more efficient with salvage, but that means changing the truck. And that means I can't carry BMATs out. So let's go to the salvage mine, let it do its work for me. All right, so you see on the bottom left, you get kind of close to these salvage mines and you'll already see it says press E to use salvage mine. I'm not even that close. And I press C, I see 5,000. So retrieve multiple and do that a bunch. Each one's 100. Okay, there's a bit more than 700 you could hold. I forgot if these were the things that you hold 60 of. So if you look in here for 1,500 worth of salvage that I can pull. So again, compared to 5,000, it's much less, but usually salvage isn't the issue. Usually it's storage capacity for the basic materials and other stuff that is a little bit bigger concern. Let's keep going here. Okay. Yeah. See, this guy has a load of salvage. He's bringing a ton. He's not going to be able to carry any BMATs out after he drops off his salvage, but he makes it so I don't need to bring much myself. You can be one of those guys. They're very helpful, but you don't need to do that. Also, trains can bring it in. There are trains that are sometimes connected, which could do it much quicker anyways. You know, what you really might want to do is when you look on the map, you can scan the refinery to see how much in VMAX it has. And if it has a lot and not much salvage, then, you know, maybe you do that. But if it has a ton of salvage, it's still processing, or a ton of BMATs to take out that they don't need salvage for a while, then you may as well just bring one of these things. I mean, you're contributing to the cause, putting in your salvage and taking about the equal amount of BMATs. And we're going to be close to the refinery here soon. You want to stick your nose in to give space so others can do it, because this isn't a quick process. The first part's quick. Click on here, so it's going to start making some BMATs and submit all the stockpile. So now I submitted all 1.4K. Now I got 5.8K to be able to retrieve. And this takes a little bit. That's why you want to just stick your nose in here. See, it's only doing 60 at a time. And that's when I right click, I'm right clicking and doing retrieve multiple. Just keep on doing this. All right, so you saw we're completely filled with the basic materials I'm going to get out of there. Right now it's not that congested, but sometimes this place is just swarming with haulers. Any refinery is, because there's so few of them. And let me stop right here. I'll let me pull off over here just so people don't get irritated. And get off the train tracks just in case. Actually, I'm going to pull up there. My parking job's really bad. All right, here we go. Let me just do this. See, you can't get mad at me. All right, so let's see. We're looking at our maps. I'm right here. Let me take off the bases just to simplify the map. We have a storage depot. You can see what's in there. We have our refinery. You can see the basic materials in there, and then the salvage is the third one over. Diesel is second. You make that out of salvage too. So if you want to refuel stuff, but that might be a different video. And then, so our factories. One was here. I could just do this. See, factory on, factory off. Let's see where else. It was down here. The one there, factory on, factory off. Two factories down there. And then do we have any going on and off over here? Just so you know. Yep. All right, up here, down here. So future reference, this is how you figure out the refinery, factory, salvage, salvage, refinery, factory, and of course garage to get your first hauler. But, you know, one thing you should notice is that you can sometimes just pick them up from these seaports. You know, they make them public. People make them public and just dump a bunch. So, you know, it can happen. Anyways, let's just get back to the main point. Let's get to this factory because we want to make some stuff. So if you see, I'm going to go up here. Now, sometimes this area is contested and you might have soldiers that will come screw you over. I mean, it may still happen. I don't have a radio, which is kind of dumb of me, but I'll handle that when we go to the factory. I'll actually make some when I'm there. So let's go. And here we go. All right, so now we are at the factory. And the factory has a bunch of different production slots, each for the different uh, types of items that you can have in here. And multiple people can have production running. It's not infinite. When too many people are doing it, it gets locked up. But we're pretty good. I see one is queued here that's waiting 26 seconds. That's for some medical stuff. You'll see there's some explosive powder here. So BMATs will make most of the basic stuff, like every gun or your basic guns, your basic ammo, your shirts, your medical equipment, everything here is all basic materials. Here is, I think, almost all basic materials. What is this? Maintenance supplies, ignore that for now. Sledgehammers, basic materials. This are bayonets, basic materials, or radios. Almost everything is basic materials except for explosive ammo. So you'll find like the Mammon somewhere up here. Let's see, this explosive powder. Now, the explosive powder also gets made from salvage. It's not too hard to get. Guns, certain advanced guns to take refined metals, which takes components to produce, which is a little bit more rare. You see here this grenade launcher, but usually the ammos are only explosive powders. Refined metals are for a lot of advanced vehicles and so forth. Binoculars are also pretty good. But so when we look here, let's see, I'm gonna go to my handy dandy map. And we look here and we see you're going to get both of your logi requests from either these map posts, or you'll get them from just looking at what's out there. So let's see, I turned on all the bases, so I should be able to see. You're looking for all the things that are really close. Bunker base, bunch of refined or bunch of basic materials there, or not a bunch, but some. That won't get them that far. If they wanted to do a mad rush with pillboxes, 435 is not going to be enough. They need in the several thousands. But do they need shirts? There's 73 of them there, and that's their ability to spawn at a forward base. They'll be able to spawn at backward or further back bases without shirts, but not forward bases. This has 0, but that might not be a thing that they use. I know that when I was playing in this area, there's not a whole lot done right here. It seems like it's mostly here in this area and so forth. So there are varying fronts that are along the way here. Let's see what's over here. This one is a forward bunker base. Look at 218 shirts. They're doing fine. They need some basic materials. Bunker base. That's apparently not where most of their supplies are. 155 Argenti. That's the fourth one from on the top. 170 feet bandages. They're doing good in that. They have a bunch of equipment here. They're doing fine just here. Let me see over here. Gibbons Field, did they do much? They have quite a bit here as well. Only 51 shirts. That's a town base. So I don't know where I'm going to go. Maybe this one. Or over here. This one seemed the lowest. 72 shirts. I might just make like a bunch of different things there. Some medical equipment and other stuff. So you see, it'll just pull from what you got right here. So let's say I want to go into make a bunch of things in the medical part of it. Bandage, first aid kits, those trauma kits, blood plasma, and just get a bunch of I have to do that after. I'll save that, but I can get that going. And in 2 minutes, that'll be done. Let me figure out another category of stuff. Say I want more ammo. So 2 more showing up here. I clicked 2 of those, and I want to do the Argenti, 2 of those, and get that going. And it pulls it from my stack. I can always just give them BMATs, so that's not something you need to worry about. If you want medical fatigues, that's one that shows up down here. I could do some medical fatigues, a couple of those. Let's see what else. I'm going to do, as I said, so the bayonets, I like doing some of those. Radios, I want one of those myself. So I want to show you something. And let's see what else. People have wanted gas masks. So let me just put that in. I'm going to take off one of the radios and put in gas mask filter. And so I'll do some of that. All right, and the rest I'll just give them basic material. So that's going to take a while, 5 minutes here, 1 minute, 1:30, 3:07. So 5 minutes, I need to look back here. So we'll just let this go. And I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, so I came back. picked up something. I wanted to show you something. So the binoculars and the radio. Binoculars, if I press number 2 because it's in the second slot, it lets me see far. It won't do much at night, but you'll see I can go pretty far. Sometimes that's good for looking for partisans and stuff. Probably not the best way to do it. Just the radio is pretty good. And so I go in here, and as you see on the bottom left, I have the radio in my slot by clicking it. You see, just want to go back here so you see what I mean. It's right here because I was in here, I clicked it. And so now when it's there, I will see intel. And so you'll see sometimes intel from within your area here, but definitely where these watchtowers are, the little dots, you'll see things moving around. They're bad guys and some good guys. I mean, if I had the greens checked, then it would show that. But in some areas where you have watchtowers, you can end up getting a little bit of intel, and usually it'll show on the map throughout here. In order to find partisans who are people. Oh, there's one partisan. So this means somebody probably got gang rushed by some guy, or they see a little blue car there. That triangle is a car. That means someone was at least previously there. You can go try to take them out if you want. But just watch out because they will try to ruin your day and destroy your truck with the supplies in it. So that's what radios are for. So you will see. So let me do this. So as I see, it's all show green checks. That means they're all done. So as I click them, they'll pop up in my inventory here. So here's 1, here's 2, and they come in as crates, if you can see. 3, and inventory full. Let's see, what am I going to do here? I'm just going to have it make some other stuff. How about a bunch of shirts? And go. All right, now then I have to, let's do one less shirt. Go. Okay. And so now I'm going to take this and leave that there. So now I'm giving 38 basic materials. These are all crates, so you can't just start pulling it in your inventory and using them. This is a crate of 50 blood plasmas, a crate of 20 buckhorn. These are the bayonets. But once you go to a base and you deliver them to a base and transfer to stockpile, they'll come out as the full form that can be used. So understand that when you first get them, they are crates until you deliver them. So let's go here. And I'm going to be taking this route over here just to avoid some problems. I'll probably take somewhere down here and then go across and then come up here. So I'm going to go just speed this up. So get past all the boring stuff. All right, so I'm coming into my last stretch just to show the map here. So you have this base and this base. I don't know which one. Oh, you can see from the intel how many of the bad guys are definitely right over here. So it may be that this is, yeah, it looks like they're keeping this stockpile. Flank. Okay, so they're working on from this one. I'm going to bring it up here. Might get destroyed, but we'll see. I think we'll be good. Because it seems like if we start hearing gunfire, then you got to watch out. That's something that you kind of look for as you're dropping off to the forward bases. I've dropped off with artillery landing around me, or just earlier today. Happens a lot. So, when you're delivering and you get closer, it will get more dangerous. But when you deliver, you just go up to the base, hit E to open it when you're in your van, and just press the right mouse button and submit an entire thing to stockpile. I don't know if you've played the front line. You probably should to get an idea as to what people like and why they need it, because you'll want things at certain times. But you'll see that thing that gives you an opportunity to commend somebody. That'll pop up, and you'll probably get a bunch of commends when you drop something off from the people who use that as their forward base. So here we go. I'm going to drop off some stuff. E to use bunker base. Submit all to stockpile. Let's see the commends. You get any. You don't always, but sometimes you get a bunch. Oh, there goes one. A few of them are starting to pop up. Anyways, yeah, so that's your basic run as a hauler. I've shown you how to, help bolster the garage, make sure more newbies can get their first hauler truck area, or just regular, logistic people that need to do some hauling, just so it's all available. Just work at the garage. You could take those basic materials back to the garage and just start pumping out haulers for people. Do one round of that, and then go out and start delivering. There are much more things that you can do. There can be being on the back end. That means the low end of the map, and shipping things in freighters via water. You can ship a ton that way. But that's not how you get things to the actual bases. This is kind of like the simplest, most straightforward thing that you should probably start with. And then from there, you can always branch off, learn how to use trains, join a company. There's a lot of things you can do in the logistics side of things. It's usually good to specialize in one thing. You can make the petrol, which I think involves, it has something to do with getting oil. I haven't done that yet. Because petrol makes your car go much faster than diesel. You can refuel, although you might need one of those fuel tanker trucks for that. There's a lot of things you can do, and that would be moving BMATs or the fuel from the salvage or from the refinery to each of the tanks. Anyways, that's the end of my video. I just wanted to give you an idea of what a hauling run looks like and walk you through it, so you can do it yourself. This was on the west side. You also figure out how to do it on the east side by finding the refineries, your salvage yards, where you'll get your first hauler from, or you just drive one from over here over to the east side, and know where you're delivering to and where your factories are, so you can turn those BMATs and other materials like explosive powders to grenades and things like that. So anyways, that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for listening.